All right, follow along. We're gonna set up the Bridgeport to machine some new hub pilots in these dually wheels. These are for the guys at Ujoint Offroad over in Montrose, Colorado. Uh, this is a dually wheel that they use on their builds, and they need the hub centers to be a different diameter. So I machined a aluminum pilot that goes in the hub center that comes with the wheel. That way I can just center it off of the spindle on the machine, and then go ahead and lock the wheel down to the table. I use some soft aluminum, some 1000 series aluminum scrap to protect the wheel edge when I go to actually lock the wheel down to the table. And once that's done, I'll go ahead and indicate it in. You know, that machine plug that I use usually gets me within 5 or 10 thousandths. And that's pretty close. These hub pilots that come on the wheels, they're not actually, what I would call round. Um, so once I check it, I indicate it in. This takes me a couple more minutes. Then I'll go ahead and switch over to the boring head. And for the roughing portion, I have this older Bridgeport one that has a tool steel insert. And that's what I use for like just the roughing out the hole. And it works really well actually. So running this at 90 RPM with a 1.5 thou per rev feed rate on the Bridgeport. And what I'm just pretty much looking for is that coiled up, material to come off the cutter. And yeah, it runs beautifully. I've tried some roughing inserts that are, carbide. But once that thing seems to chatter once, it's all over. And I have actually ran into some hard spots in these wheels because some of these wheels are actually, the holes are punched in them, and some of them are either plasma cut or something like that, and then they form the wheel. So there can be like very hard spots, on that pilot. So I just switch over to this, do it this method. It seems to work really well. So 80 RPM, just let it feed through there, and it cuts very nice. So because I've done so many of these, this cutter is actually set up to the final dimension, um, and I just swap it out and then just run it in there. Um, this one, it uses a carbide end mill or insert, and I run this about the same RPM, 80 to 90 RPM, and this hole diameter is just under almost, just call it almost 5 inches. So, 80 to 90 RPM, same feed rate. There I did up the RPM a little bit to see if that worked better. It did not. This is actually the last wheel of this group that I have to do. And you can see, it's really nice. It did show a little bit of chatter in there, but all in all, pretty good. And there's a whole stack of, 15 of them now that they're all done. So, if you like to see this kind of content, definitely follow along for more. I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know if you got any questions.